Welcome to Kindness Stories, where we bring you powerful stories that will move your heart and inspire your soul. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story that could change the way you see the world. Now, sit back and prepare for a tale that's both shocking and empowering, a story of bullying, bravery, and ultimate redemption. It all started on a cold Monday morning. The wind blew through the empty school courtyard, and Ava pulled her hood tied around her face as she stepped off the school bus. It was her first week at Lincoln High, a place known more for its sports teams than for its kindness. Ava had just transferred from a quiet, small-town school. She was shy, kept to herself, and never made much of a scene. But here, that made her a target. She hadn't even reached her locker before the whispers began. There they were, Leah, Brianna, and Tessa, the queen bees of Lincoln High. They were popular, loud, and always in the middle of some kind of drama. And now, they had their sights set on Ava. She kept her head down and avoided eye contact. She just wanted to survive the day without drawing attention. But sometimes, attention finds you even when you try to hide. At lunch, Ava sat alone, her tray barely touched. She scanned the cafeteria nervously, catching brief glances from kids who quickly looked away. A shadow fell across her table. It was Leah, with her posse right behind her. Hey, new girl, Leah said with a smirk. Why are you sitting all by yourself? No friends to braid your hair? Brianna snickered and mimicked a braiding motion while Tessa reached forward and flicked a strand of Ava's long, dark hair. Maybe we should give her a makeover, Tessa said. With a cruel grin, Ava didn't say a word. She simply gathered her things and left the cafeteria. The girls watched her walk away and burst into laughter. It wouldn't be the last time they cornered her, not even close. For the next few days, things only got worse. Notes shoved into her locker, fake rumors spread across school, videos of her tripping in the hallway mysteriously shared on social media. But Ava didn't fight back. She kept her head down, hoping they'd eventually get bored. She was wrong. It was Friday when it happened. Ava had just finished gym class and was heading to the locker room. The halls were mostly empty. That's when Leah and her crew struck. They blocked the entrance and herded Ava into the far end of the bathroom. You think you're better than us, don't you? Leah sneered, walking around all quiet, like you're some kind of saint. Before Ava could respond, Brianna pulled out a pair of scissors from her backpack. Ava's eyes widened. What are you doing? She gasped. Backing away. Relax. Just giving you that makeover we talked about, Tessa said. They cornered her, and before she could escape, Brianna grabbed a chunk of her hair and began cutting. Strands of Ava's beautiful hair fell to the cold tile floor. Ava screamed, struggling to pull away, but they held her tight. She was shaking not just with fear, but with something else, something building, something powerful. When they laughed, something inside Ava snapped. With a sudden burst of strength, she pushed Leah away with both hands, slamming her into the wall. The girls gasped. Brianna turned to run, but Ava grabbed her by the arm and flung her into the sink so hard it cracked. Tessa tried to bolt, but Ava kicked the door shut and stood in front of it. You think you can humiliate me and get away with it? Her voice was shaking, but it was steady. Not anymore. Leah scrambled up, her face pale. We were just joking. You're crazy. No, Ava said, her voice cold. I'm just done being your victim. The three girls ran out of the bathroom without looking back, their pride more damaged than their bodies. Ava stood there alone, breathing heavily, tears mixing with adrenaline. Her reflection stared back at her from the mirror. Her hair was uneven, butchered, but her eyes, they were fierce. She didn't feel broken anymore. She felt alive. Word spread fast. By the next period, the entire school knew what had happened. Students whispered in awe, not about what the bullies did, but about what Ava did in return. And something changed that day. She was called into the principal's office, of course. But after a lengthy investigation, multiple students came forward to testify about the bullying. The school had no choice but to suspend Leah, Brianna, and Tessa for their actions. Ava was warned about using force, but ultimately not punished. She had defended herself, and that made all the difference. In the weeks that followed, something else happened, something Ava never expected. Students who had never talked to her before started stopping her in the halls. The That was really brave. Asterisk, you didn't deserve what they did. Asterisk, my sister went through the same thing. Thank you. Asterisk, one girl even sat with her at lunch. Asterisk, you okay if I sit here? I think you're kinda cool. Asterisk gave a smile for the first time in a long time. She still kept mostly to herself, but something was different now. She wasn't scared anymore. She knew her worth, and more importantly, so did everyone else. Asterisk, as for Leah and her crew, when they returned to school weeks later, they were no longer the queens of the hallways. Their power was gone, their popularity drained. Nobody wanted to be around bullies anymore, not after what they did to Ava. Asterisk, Ava never sought revenge. She didn't need it. She'd already won. She focused on her studies, made a few good friends, and joined a local boxing class, not to fight, but to remind herself how strong she was. Every punch she threw was a reminder of that day. A day she didn't fall apart. A day she stood tall. Asterisk, and years later, when Ava walked across the stage to accept her high school diploma, the entire auditorium stood and applauded, not just for her grades, but for her strength. She wasn't just a quiet girl anymore. She was something more. Asterisk, she was a survivor, a fighter, a story worth telling. Asterisk.